Okay, I used to watching, hosted by Sam and Sami. I'm Sam. That's Sami. You know, see, Sami, you just say hello, so I don't have to introduce you.
Hello, I'm Simi.
Co-hosted. I know I'm in the bigger picture, but you know, we don't know how to record it properly. So me and Sami are like this. So okay, we're gonna go through all the top Netflix shows or streaming programs online. I don't really know all of them. Netflix, Amazon Prime. Who else is there that we could watch? Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Just whatever's like gaining traction.
Anyone
But you
who's
know
making
what's
cultural impacts. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Netflix is doing it a lot lately. All these documentaries, all these programs that are coming out on Netflix, whether it be films, anything, they just, some of them don't even stay forever. Some of them last about 6 weeks and you'd never hear about them again. But everyone wants to hear about them when they're out. There's a lot to talk about on these films, and especially his first one today, 365. 365 is something we've both put off for quite a
Wait,
while.
it's 365 days.
Is it?
I think that's the name of it.
Everyone talks about, everyone says it out in public saying, you watch 365? Maybe it is 365 days or 365 days. But we'll caption this right now. What does he say? Are you lost, baby girl?
What?
Are you lost, baby girl? That can be the
Don't
thing.
even get me
Are
started.
you lost, baby girl? Okay, so for example, we discussed talking about this the other night. This is one of them talks where you go out with your friends and you have a little discussion, and there's not enough time in one night to highlight everything you need to talk about in this film. So before we watched this film, and we both said we were going to watch it, what were your pre-thoughts about the film before you even turned it on, from what you've heard?
Well, you told me about it. You were like, everyone's watching this film, like 365 days or whatever it's called. And I was like, I never heard of it, but you said it was like kind of like 50 Shades of Grey, where everyone's just like having sex and stuff. Like, I thought, all right, it's gonna just be one of them that's just gonna be like part of the meme culture. It's kind of just what Netflix do these days, where they just put out a load of awful shows. But I think during quarantine as well, everyone's watching it. So then the culture is just memes and people making fun out of it. So when I heard it, I thought it's just going to be about no plot, nothing like that, just people having sex, and it basically was, to be honest. That was
this is what you thought before the film.
I thought this is just going to be an awful film. I wasn't excited to watch this.
I wasn't at all. But then what? But then what? You did get excited. You know, you got a little bit excited when she started watching it.
Well, I will get into that later. But yeah, it was one of them. I just thought it's going to be one of them really crappy Netflix products, and to be honest, it was.
I thought quite big of it, and the amount of things that are being shared on Facebook by girls our age, girls in like the mid-20s, the stuff they're putting on Facebook. My Instagram is full of this. What's the actor's called? Michelle Moran, Michael Moran.
Who the actor?
The main actor, male.
I don't know. I haven't even checked.
It's called like Michelle Moran. I'm sure it's Michelle. It might be pronounced differently, Michael Moran. But girls are just liking and sharing this guy's photo everywhere on social media. So I thought this film is going to actually be pretty good. It's going to have a lot of like depths into it. There's a reason why people and girls our age are liking this guy. Obviously, he's a good-looking guy, but obviously something must be in the film which makes him see him in this light. Like 50 Shades of Grey. What's his name? What's Thingy Grey called? His first name? Christian Grey.
No idea.
Guy's billionaire businessman.
Yeah, but it's looking. Yeah, but like you just knew it was going to be like this toxic masculinity kind of guy.
I didn't think that though. Look, right, we're going to get into this, but this is the thing. I thought it has to be presented well. Like I knew he might have been a drug dealer or something like that, but I thought he's going to be all good. He's going to get presented as a guy who don't like being in that business, and he's going to save them both. But this film completely flipped. Like I don't hate this film. I hate the way it's being represented by people in our media. Considering what's going on in the world right now, I've got so much to say for each different scene that's coming up of how people are taking something that's shouldn't be seen in a good light, but isn't, and then they'd complain about something else. But go on, I know you want to say something.
All right. We're going to break down each scene. So we're going to go full spoilers, and we're going to talk about each scene. But first, let's just talk about what our initial impressions were when we watched it. So you go first. What did you think?
Initial impressions were basically, well, we both said, all right, we're going to jot notes down along the way. So I was thinking more in depth to all this. I wasn't just thinking, sit down, enjoy the film. I had to kind of think about what is it actually showing. So the film itself turned out to be a cinematic porno, basically, with the porno only starting about three quarters of the way in, and the like that. Oh, I don't even want to mention it, but what we're going to talk about, that boat scene, what happening there, whatever happened there. The film basically is something you will all watch, but you'll never watch again. That's all I have to. That's all I have to comment on it.
I think the same thing. I'm just gonna say, this film is complete garbage. I mean, it is awful.
Do you still stick by your 2 out of 10?
I gave it a 2 out of 10, and I honestly think it was kind of generous. It was awful. Like, there wasn't a plot really.
Yeah, even the acting, the shots.
The worst thing about this film was just the character development or lack of character development.
No.
One scene, I'm not going to go into it just yet, but like there's one scene where a character will be acting a certain way, and then like 30 seconds later they'll be acting in a completely different way.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh my! It was just
like angered you.
I texted you last night. I was like, I still don't understand. I still don't know if this film was like a parody or a joke, or if the director and the writers were like being serious when they wrote it. Like,
I bet it sounded great as an idea.
No, I mean, like when they were writing this film and in the script they put "Are you lost, baby girl?" Were they just like pissing themselves laughing, thinking, "Oh my god, this is so bad, but we're gonna put it"? Or were they like, "This is genius. People are gonna absolutely love this. This is like a 10 out of 10 plot and script."
I think they were thinking big things.
So bad. This film was awful. However, it was a 2-hour film.
Yeah.
But it went by really fast.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
I actually recommend people watch this film.
Just because
I think you can get a good laugh out of it. And look, people are in quarantine, they're a little bit horny,
Everyone's getting a bit frisky.
And then I think people watch these things, to be part of the culture, part of the conversation. So I do think, like, I understand why people have watched it.
I'd say never watch it with your girlfriend. Imagine your girlfriend's just sat next to you and that's happening. I mean, this guy, she's just talking about him being chiseled by whatever, 6'10", ripped. He's got a devil's penis, supposedly. Like it was carved by the devil, not by God, by the devil. Right, let's get into it. The best way to talk about this is talking each scene, because everything just represents the current world in. Oh, it makes me. This is what angered me. This is what. Right, let's go.
All right, should we get into it then? Yeah.
Yes, I mean you've mapped out the narrative, haven't you? So let's go through.
All right, I'm gonna go through the scene by scene.
Hold on, just before you say that, like you were saying, it flies by. I think it flies by because it's almost edited. Like, these modern day YouTube videos where they cut every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You don't realise where time's gone and like zoom in, zoom out, a couple of cinematic shots and you're like, and it's finished and you're just like, I haven't even watched anything. And it's just, it's like that. It's
like nothing really happens in this film.
It's sexy trash. That's what it is.
It is.
All right, let's go.
Start. All right, let's start. So this film starts off where we see the main guy. His name's Massimo.
Already Massimo. Those are the cups we sell at work. The biggest drink is Massimo size.
Good-looking guy, no doubt about it.
Real good-looking guy.
All right. So it starts off. It's him and his family. They're having like this business meeting, And the meeting is with this guy who's talking about selling underage girls for sex and
We
stuff.
don't do that.
All right, but that doesn't even matter.
It's got
Nothing,
nothing
none
to
of
do
that
with the
matters.
narrative, has it?
Nothing. Why the hell do you would put that in the first?
I think they only put that in
never know.
to try and make them that his family sound slightly better, even though it don't make any sense 5 seconds later because he goes, "Oh, we shouldn't reject this guy because he respects, we got to make our," and then it was like, so you do want it or you don't want it, and it's
I have no idea why they even. Right. Anyway, so then Massimo's there. He's not part of the business meeting. He's just spying on this girl.
already.
We don't know who the girl is yet, but we'll get onto that later. And then his dad comes next to him. They start talking about the business deal and then whatnot. And then all of a sudden, this is when I knew this film was just not going to take it serious. Out of nowhere, his dad gets shot. And then the bullet goes
I
through
was
his
quite
dad.
shocked by that though when it happened. At that time, before I knew anything else, they were like, "Oh."
It was so like a Bollywood dramatic moment as well.
Mm.
So the bullet went through his dad and it hit Massimo as well.
Yeah.
But then but then there was nothing after that. No one was like looking for anything. It's just like, it kind of just felt like a random bullet came from
Yeah, and everybody
anywhere.
else disappeared.
Everyone disappeared.
The guys at the tables went.
It's like nothing happened. It's like, all right, yeah, they just got shot.
Do you know what the most mad part about that scene was? Like there were like 3 different songs and music played during that entire scene.
Yeah,
and literally after he got shot, it's like Enrique Iglesias started playing out of nowhere. It just, the music that was used made no sense.
This happened throughout the whole film.
But I'll give it that it was
right.
it was cinematically, there were nice scenic shots, and that's about it so far. And
right,
carry on.
That's the first scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So then we go into a new scene, and I actually thought this scene was probably, I'd say it's the best scene. This next scene, because it actually had a little bit of character development, only a tiny amount, but it actually had some.
Which one's this?
All right, this is when they're in a business meeting. It shows Massimo in one business meeting, and it shows another girl, the main character, Lara. She's in another business meeting. They don't know each other at this point. Well, she doesn't know him. We'll get into that later. So then this scene clearly shows that like Massimo's a very powerful guy, rich guy, and it actually shows that he will like manipulate people to get an advantage, which is like an important theme in this film. He's a guy that gets what he wants, and he'll do it no matter the cost.
Yeah, and it works. But it's like it's presented in a good light. The way he does it, it's presenting. Imagine me or you were just manipulating people for fun. We would be seen as the darkest evil people, but this film is able to manipulate it so he's seen as a good. If you're that sexy in life, you can do anything and get away with it. You can manipulate your way through.
He's a very typical, like, rich son, inherited a lot of money kind of guy. Like, there's a lot of characters that have like been presented the way he's been presented, where he's a bit of a douchebag, but he has like his confidence.
Did you ever watch on Netflix the Roman Empire?
No.
Anyone who's watched the Roman Empire, I think it's like the history of the Roman Empire. Who is the arch nemesis of Maximus in Gladiator called again? His name?
Joaquin Phoenix. Commodus or whatever.
Commodus. He plays Commodus. If you never watched the Roman Empire thing on Netflix, watch it. He's Massimo is like Commodus. He's weak to women. He's got all this power, but once a nice little bit of bitty comes in a picture, he's off and away. He loses the entire thing. Everything falls, and it only took him 2 months. 2 months for everything to fall down for him. Yeah, that right. No.
Right. So anyway, both their business meetings end. So then they get in a car. You see Massimo's getting a text or like some naughty pictures from what we assume is his chick, Anna.
Yeah, from who?
Anna. And then, it cuts to Lara getting into an apartment.
Wait. Do you know when he's in the car and he looks out of the window, does he see Lara? Because he looks at somebody and he's like
no, because
that.
they're not even in the same.
So who's he looking at? Because isn't it her outside the window? Or am I forgetting it?
No, definitely not.
So what
No,
is he so shocked about?
No, you're thinking about something else. You're thinking about when he does see Lara later
Outside
on.
the car?
Yeah. We'll get to that later.
All right, okay.
All right.
Yeah,
I think you're getting confused.
Yeah,
right. So then, Lara's in her apartment, and then you see her boyfriend. I mean, like, Lara's a really good-looking girl.
Yeah. Oh, are you gonna give that guy some grief?
I'm gonna give this guy some grief. She's way out of his league. This guy's like a little bit overweight, bald.
Oh, something must not be working for them both though, because they're both not. If he ain't wanting it when she comes home, you know what don't make sense. At first, I just thought he's an innocent guy who's working. He's a bit, like it's been a long day. Chill out. Lara's a bit of a sex pest, just chill out,
Yeah.
And then for some reason they have to just go, oh, you haven't even packed for us yet, And then it's just like, so is this guy gonna be a bad guy or?
Like Lara wants to have sex with him when she gets in, or she wants to play around. He's like too busy working. He's like, bitch, I ain't got time for that. So Lara, I think they establish it then kind of that she's not like this innocent girl. She's like, she likes to have a bit of fun as well.
Yeah. So why is she with him?
I have no idea.
He don't really go.
I think it would have been more believable if she was with like a good-looking guy who was like a bit of a dick as well.
So is Massimo at the end of the day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like girls like her would probably actually go for someone like Massimo beforehand. Anyway, we're getting besides the point.
Oh, there's so much to talk about here. Go on, keep going.
So then there's like a side-by-side shot where Massimo's in a plane and
this had me fuming. Keep going.
Laura's on her bed. Then Massimo, is it with his uncle?
He's with for sure he's with like his uncle and that guy who is just like his friend.
So like I think his name's Mario, his uncle. So then Mario's like, all right, we've got some bad news, someone's taken a container worth of cocaine. So then
who? Where from?
I don't. No one knows. No one cares. It's just like, let's just say it. So then there's this air hostess. Massimo gets up, stands up. He's pissed off. Right? For some reason, there's this curtain on the middle of this private jet. Like literally, couldn't be more conveniently placed. He closes the curtain with his family on the other side. And then he goes and whispers in the air hostess's ear. They're literally, I don't know, not even a meter apart from where his family are, the curtain and him. She begins to take off his pants and aggressively starts sucking him off.
I don't even know if it's her doing it or if it's him pushing her head.
It's aggressive though. This is like deep throat kind of shit.
I'll tell you the problems I had with this after you finished. Like I've got a full thing written about this scene.
All right, so then whilst that's going on, simultaneously, Lara is in her apartment with a vibrator and she's masturbating. Yeah. And they both orgasm at at the same time.
It's like they're meant to be. It's like they're just made for each other. This is the problem that I had in that. So I was thinking about all the stuff that's going on in the world right now and how people, everyone's kind of, I'm not going to say snowflakey, but actual problems and what's not a problem and what is a problem. So basically, this Massimo, who everyone's celebrating right now, girls are absolutely fapping, whatever the word is, over this Massimo guy. Basically, this drug dealer has basically got up, got air hostess and raped her in the back next to his family, just aggressively going like that. And the film at the same time is shooting them both, so it's Lara and Massimo getting off to this. But they don't. Is the air hostess getting off to? It makes no sense. It's like the air hostess don't know what's going on, and Massimo full blast in her mouth. She smiles as if nothing's
Yeah,
wrong.
I know that's what I don't get about this film. Like, did the girls like it? Like, did the kind of like don't like it, but then when it happens, it's like they kind of do like it as well.
I can imagine
So,
if
like,
that were on the news, a drug dealer did that to an air hostess, or some random guy did that to an air
yeah,
hostess.
yeah,
If it's not presented in that exact way that they're doing it,
yeah.
it's so mixed with how people are like what I don't know. Like the other day, something was trending on Twitter of someone who got arrested, and like a police officer in America like got hold of her and missed her arm and like touched the boob for a second, and she posted it
Yeah.
online saying, "I was sexually assaulted." Blah blah blah. I got. Everyone's like saying, "I'm so sorry for you. Can't believe that happened." Yet maybe the same type of people will post a picture of Massimo saying "sexiest guy in the world," and he just did that on the first couple of scenes, raped someone practically.
Yeah.
It's just such mixed imagery, and to fit anyone's narrative, it's fine. But then it's not, is it? It's
yeah. It was a really like it was a shocking scene, but it was just kind of just like why are they even doing this? What was the purpose of it? Was it just to show like he's like this evil toxic guy?
I think the only thing that makes it good is the air hostess smiles at the end of it. So for a woman watching it, you know, like they try portray these alpha males do what he wants.
Yeah.
So like it's fine because she smiles at the end. So it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's like built him up as the alpha. But if she was not smiling, he'd be like this maniac. But I was thinking he's a maniac. I think as a guy watching it, he's a maniac.
Absolutely. I think on my notes I even put this guy is like an absolute lunatic.
I did as well watching it. I put this guy's crazy.
Like this
next
guy's
thing,
crazy.
All right, go on.
And then we'll get further on, but it kind of it immediately shows that this guy could easily be like the antagonist of this film because it portrays him as such a dickhead.
Yeah.
But then it's not that simple going forward, but we'll get to that later. Right. Each scene just I think gets worse. Right, so there's a new scene. It's Laura's birthday. I think she's turning 30. Yeah. So then she's at the party. They're having a couple of drinks with like her boyfriend and like another couple. And then all of a sudden, a couple of drinks came in, and then she's like thanking her boyfriend for getting it, but her boyfriend didn't get it. So for some reason, she just gets up, walks away, and then she runs into who? Massimo.
Are you lost, baby girl?
And then he said that. It's such bad dialogue. And I was like, is she dreaming? Is he actually there? Because he just disappears. He's like a ghost. She turns around, gone.
It's like she needs him, but in subliminally. But why? It's like, why? It don't make any sense to that. Or
oh my
same
God,
with drinks. Who bought the drinks? Massimo.
Yeah, Massimo did. But
it's
like,
just it don't make sense how he found her, or like what.
Oh no! Wait till you find out how he finds it. Just all right.
Anyway. Hold on. Do you know? Oh no! It's the next scene. It's the next scene that I wrote. No, all right, keep going.
All right. So the next scene after is she's by the pool, isn't she, Laura?
Yeah.
Friend. And then she's pissed off with like her boyfriend, Martin, because he's going off doing these things without her for some reason.
I can't believe the t-shirts they put Martin in this film as well. He has the worst t-shirt sense. They do him dirty from step one.
I mean, like, why is this guy doing stuff without her on her birthday? It's like, why?
Don't even get explained.
What's going on?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, they fall out. She pushes him into the pool, but it kind of seemed like they made up at that point. But then she pushed him in as like a bit of like a joke. Yeah, but then it wasn't because she was next scene she's there crying like on a balcony.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. And you know what else annoyed me about that? For some reason, her friend was recording them arguing. Like
yeah.
And I thought, what is she doing?
I noticed that. I noticed
something about to happen, and then all that happens was it's like did she know she was going to push him in the pool? And something else that she says, well, She says she's not the most important thing in Martin's hierarchy. So she's already said, like, I don't want to be like this guy's got a hierarchy, you know, he sees himself on a pedestal, so I don't want to be. And the next thing, she goes grabbing onto, well, who knows what the next thing is, but Massimo comes in. I don't know what the difference is with the hierarchy thing. She must like it, even though she liked Martin. All right,
all right. So then it's like, it's night. Lara's like on a balcony, like crying. And then she just starts like running around.
I know.
Running around like, what's she doing? What is she doing?
And then no idea.
Next thing you know, like a couple of cars come and she gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
And then
But before that, this is what I wanted. I have so much to come. It's like I want to complain about the same type of subject. I've got to say something good about this film, but not yet. So even on this scene, when she's walking the streets, she goes walking the streets, and there's like two guys having a normal conversation, and she gets scared and runs. But the second a set of gangsters pull up and say, "Get in the car," she stands there and gets in the car. It's like, what is going on? And that right.
Well, all right. Right. So she wakes up, doesn't she? The next, I don't know if it might be the same night, maybe a few hours later, in Massimo's like house.
Yeah.
Massimo's there, and then
he's kidnapped.
It's like, oh, you've got some heart problems, which don't even make. It's not even a detail that really needed to go in there, because
it's just
nothing
even try to make him sound like he cares and he's a caring person, even though he's just kidnapped this person
so
out of nowhere.
I don't know if she's met Massimo at this time, but then if he hasn't been introduced yet, but there's a giant painting of her in this guy's house.
Oh yeah, what madness, insanity.
I mean, is it? But then I'll get into why it's stupid in a second as well. So then, he introduces himself.
Does he baby girl it again?
No, what he does is he gets an ice cube. Puts it in his mouth, and he's like, "Suck it."
Yeah, suck it. Suck it.
And then, all right. So basically, he says to her that when his dad got shot in the heart, and when he got shot as well, the girl that he was spying on at the beginning, and the girl that he saw when he was like about to die, or when he was in that moment where he was shot, was Laura.
Why?
Was she even there? I don't get it. Was she there?
Don't say it, and we'll never know. And there's no point at all. Like, they could have built that. They could have built an entire story of why she was there. Maybe she could have been from the other family, or the enemy, or even part of his family, or anything that could have twisted it.
It's literally, she's just randomly there. I have no idea. So then, right, so this guy's literally seen her a split second. And he's obsessed with her. This was 5 years ago. So obsessed that in that split second, he can memorize exactly the details of her face, that he can make an exact portrait of her on his wall.
Don't they live in a different part of the country as well? Like, he'll never have seen her again. And
she lives in Poland, and he lives in Italy.
Oh yeah, because he don't want anyone from Poland and stuff going over, whatever.
Oh my god! I mean, like, she was like 24, 25 when he saw her, and now she's 30. She's probably changed a little bit as well, but no.
Like, why is he obsessed with it? I mean, supposedly he's obsessed with women. So there's women, there's over and over women. What's the difference with this? Well, he only lasted 2 months for it to get up and go, wasn't it? So he's just the same old carry on. And also, when they meet downstairs and he does the ice cube thing, for some reason she instantly refers to herself as an object. It's just planting the seeds for this alpha male, not even alpha male maniacs to just take control of this woman who likes him but don't like him.
To give Lara a little bit of credit, because I'm going to tell you how it goes in the next few scenes. This is the only time really where we see her like kind of resisting. she's like kind of like, but not as much as she should have been, to be honest.
It's as if she were going to have a game plan by the way she were acting, and there were no.
So then Massimo says, "You have 365 days to fall in love with him." Why? I don't know.
Yeah, but the best thing about that was he goes, "I won't do anything without your permission."
Oh no!
Whilst he's grabbing her boobs,
grabbing
her boobs, and he's like, "I won't do anything, baby. I won't do anything, baby girl."
And this comes in later in the film as well, where he does stuff without permission. But
I know, so and he's already like, "Oh no, I think this might be later on. Keep going on. Yeah, I'm getting a bit too excited."
So then he's like, I'll give you 365 days to fall in love with me, and then if not, I'll release you back up." Really,
like she's a prisoner.
Well,
it's like, it's like mental.
All right, I'm doing you a favor. It's just a year.
You're lucky to be. No, it's not even lucky. It's like I'm trying to make comments, but then something that happens in the next scene takes back your comment, because it's like he's crazy and he's kidnapped her. And he's given her 365 days. And then the next scenes come up where you've got to go into them, where the characters just go up and down.
Yeah.
And nothing.
All right.
Just carry on before I go.
So then so then he gets called by his uncle saying, right, you need to deal with this thing. And then Massimo's with this guy who's chained up. He's a guy that's been selling underage girls to brothels and stuff. And again, like, who cares? Because they didn't even go into it.
No.
So then he's like talking to him, and then later in the next scene, Lara like tries to escape, but like there's like just walks. She's walking around like his courtyard outside, and she sees him just in the middle of the courtyard.
Nobody else is guarding.
Him shooting the guy, and then she does like this dramatic faint. She just collapses to the floor.
Yeah, like why is she fainting? It's just.
Anyway, it was not even. I don't even think that's a scene even worth talking about. I don't even know why they put it in.
It's as if it was going to set some up though, as if she was going to start enjoying this gangster lifestyle, but then she does and she doesn't, and it's just keep going. Every scene's got a different thing here.
All right. So then the next scene, she wakes up the next day. She's
with her makeup done, with her makeup already done. And it's like, I'm sure there's a song playing that all it says in it is touch me. Touch me. It's mad.
Massimo sat on the chair, no top as you do.
Yeah.
And then he's like very controlling. He's like, right, we're going to go shopping. And then, she's like in bed and she's still like, she's like into it. She's not resisting at all.
It's like a thing of this is why I keep going back to this, like, I can't believe people our age are sharing this. It's like all it's showing is a stereotype of a woman, a rich guy coming, buying her things, taking control of her, and it takes her off her feet. I mean, it's the complete opposite of what people complain about today, but it is the most. It sums up that ideology of money and power, taking anybody to a T, without saying it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So then they go shopping.
Oh, there's a
montage where, and she's into it. She's like smiling, buying all this stuff, and then I think he goes into the dressing room and she's like. She says something to him like the fallout.
Yeah,
she's
but
like,
what is she trying on in the dressing room? She's trying on lingerie.
I know.
Why? You will never see this.
I know. Anyway, even though she was like, she'd been flirting with him in this montage of her trying on clothes as well.
Does she want him or not at this point? Does she want him?
Well.
Did she want him from day one? This is what I started to wonder.
But wait, there's a scene coming up where it just didn't make any sense, and
is it in the changing room?
No, they finished the changing room now.
He strangles her again in the changing room though, and then once again he's like, I won't do anything.
Yeah, he does.
He throttles her, and it's like you've gone back on yourself again.
I'm doing you a favor here. Like, I'm just gonna strangle you, but I'm not really gonna do
And then he
anything.
says something like, "I'm not the monster you think I am."
I know.
He's just
Well,
strangled
prove
her,
it.
and he's trying to do all this stuff. She's a prisoner. Oh, I think I know what you're gonna say for this next scene. Now I remember how it went.
No. I don't think you will, because I think
The one where she ran
a few
out.
scenes later. No, she runs out, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And then, no, not this bit. So she runs out, and she's like there's 2 officers or something, or like patrol guards round.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Help! I've been kidnapped." And then Massimo's like in the background. They look at Massimo and they just don't do it. So obviously shows again that he's like a powerful guy. Maybe he's like paid him off, or maybe they know not to mess with Massimo. He runs the area.
Are you lost, baby girl? I'm sure.
So then, yeah, he does. He says that again. Doesn't he?
I'm gonna say that on a daily basis from now. It seems to work.
So then, is there anything else we can add to that scene, or should we just go like have dinner later that night?
That scene, the police, she runs out.
Nothing happens.
Just for example, why she just run out? What? Why she run out? She was enjoying it, and then she's not.
I know she's enjoying it. I like literally. Where did she think she was gonna go?
And then he's like, "You running away," and then she just automatically submits to him going,
And
"You're not running away, pretty much, but you can."
that's what I'm
if you
saying.
want.
There's no like, she's changing the way she feels like in like 30-second intervals. Like
She's changing the way his mind wants her to change. That's all it is. All right, next scene. I know what you mean now.
They have a dinner that night, and then
she gets all glammed up though, doesn't she? She's happy.
Yeah.
She's like getting excited to do her makeup.
She like says, "Oh, we're eating this tonight," and then she shows a bit of power, like, "Oh, it's not as good as how my mum used to make it, but don't kill the chef." So she's like playing along a little bit. She knows,
she's ready.
like,
she knows she wants it. That's when the spark
She's
ignites.
a whore. She is a whore.
She is. Literally, she is.
A whore. She's a I could argue she's just as bad as Massimo in this film.
She's Massimo's insanity, and she's just. I'm trying to think of a word to sum her up.
She's the tease. She is the tease for a lot of like Massimo's.
The gaslight. She's the gas, and he's
the
lighter.
She knows how to play him as well.
Yeah, she must have had this stuff before in her life. I swear, there's no way she knows how to do this so well.
So then Massimo gets another text from Anna, like a half-naked picture or whatever. Whilst having dinner, nothing happens after that. Just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like another pointless scene.
I know. There's no. I think that scene is used to be to be shown as the turning point of the entire thing, because all that happens over dinner is she starts to smirk, and some form of music plays that's like sad music, where I'm sure Massimo says something, and it's like he's just giving in, and he's so weak, and he's just like, oh, he's actually such an innocent, nice man. And what are you about to say after this? Are you not going to say about the laptop and the phone?
Does he give it to that night?
That night, back on her bed.
Oh, right, yeah, of course, yeah, right.
The two most important things to...
Yeah. She wants her laptop. She's been making it out like she's desperate for a laptop and a phone. So when she goes back to her room, it's there on her bed. So then what does she do? She rings her mum, right? She rings her mum saying, "I've got a job in Sicily for a year." So she's like, all right, yeah, I'm in it. I'm in it for the year.
How many days have they been together at this point?
No, it's like a day, isn't it?
3, something like that.
Days. I mean, like, oh, it's ridiculous. So then, next scene, she wakes up in bed, and Massimo's next to her, just lying in the bed.
It seemed he was presented as if that was normal, and she liked it. Imagine waking up in bed.
She touches like his body a little bit with like a hand.
What, in the bed?
And then what does this whore do? She gets out of the bed, undresses, and walks into this open shower that's overlooking the bed. So she's naked, having like this sexy shower, obviously, so Massimo can see her as well. So then Massimo goes into the shower with her.
Yeah.
And then what's Lara doing?
I cannot believe that. She's literally
eyeing the D.
Imagine my microphone is the D. It's just like he's talking to her.
I mean, like,
it's like,
oh my days!
It's like she says stuff like words earlier on saying, "Don't use me as an object, no hierarchy," and she stares at his. What is the director trying to show? This woman is the most backwards character and the most, what's it not what is it when you condescend yourself? A fancier word, not a hypocrite. Some form of word. She has no morals. She has no morals to her own self.
She has no
knowledge.
Self-respect.
Neither does he. They were a perfect match, really. They were a perfect match. But she's just staring at his dick.
She can try and resist it all she wants, but she's just tricking herself because
I tell you what she is.
She wants it.
I wrote this down on my notes. I put exactly during watching this scene live. Nothing is making sense. She's officially a lost baby girl. She is a lost baby girl.
She is. She is the lost baby girl. Maybe Massimo's got it right. So then, Lara's still eyeing it. She eyes it for a good 30 seconds, and then Massimo, big toxic masculinity.
Oh, with tight booty cheeks.
It
was right over.
Touch it. It's like you want to touch it, and he's overpowering her, looking down on her. So then nothing happens.
That is a well-shot scene, though. It's a well-shot scene. Yeah, he looks enormous, and the camera is, and the music was good. That is the scene that I've seen people share on Facebook. People are making jokes out of it. There were a TikTok trend where some guy would say, doing the 365 days thing to my girlfriend. You know, when he grabs her by the neck and pulls her back. Yeah. It's like someone did that on their girlfriend, and she just turned around and slapped him in the face. What are you doing? But when Massimo does it, okay. Take control.
Gets a bit wet.
Take control. The water's flowing. But yeah, that scene was probably the best shot scene to show a character, in my opinion. The music and everything.
This next scene, I don't even think you probably even hated it as much as I did, because it was just so random when it happened. I was like, what's going on? So she's so the shower scene, she's into it, isn't she? The whole time.
She's asking for that.
All right, so then the next scene, they're going onto a plane, and then she is resisting going on this plane like crazy. She's flailing her arms about. I'm just like, the last scene you were into it. So why all of a sudden are you completely resisting going on this plane with this guy?
Maybe she knew all along. She's just the tease. She's the tease, and that's it.
But then wait till they get off the plane, right? So they're on the plane, and she's tied up with all these seat belts.
Yeah, double strapped, literally that. And then she's prisoner again. Oh, Massimo just goes, slips it down. And then I can't understand in that exact scene if she's liking it or not liking it.
Oh no, she's loving it.
Yeah, but she makes out she's like, no, and then all of a sudden she's like,
yeah, but then she's like, yeah. So and then what did he say? I won't do anything without your permission and stuff.
But I'll touch your flaps. I'll just finger you. Just a little finger.
What's the big deal?
Yeah, it's the permission on or off at that point once again.
It was just
carry on. I'm reading notes and I'm remembering stuff as it goes through.
Are we on the next scene where
they get off the plane and they're in that plane? The ice cream.
Right. So the ice cream.
The ice cream.
The next scene is Massimo's talking to his cousin, and Lara's with this Massimo's friend who is overseeing her or something like that. So she's having ice cream.
I like that guy. I think that guy could have had quite a big role in it. He had some good. He had personality more than anybody almost.
Oh yeah, he's the true G. He's the girl. He's the guy that girls should be going for.
I hope he did. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So then Massimo's talking to his cousin, and then his cousin's like, "Oh, so this is the girl. How is she and stuff?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, whatever." Lara walks up to Massimo and his cousin, and she starts licking this ice cream, so sexy and seductive. I was like, a second ago while you were going on the plane, you're flailing your arms about, and then now you're trying all sexy, seductive. So she went from being sexy, seductive, and like into it in the shower, to the next scene for no reason flapping her arms about, and then now she's back to being her Lara again.
That's what made me mad. This scene is like Massimo and his cousin and whatever are talking, and Massimo is represented as a guy who's almost never had sex, never met a girl before.
Yeah,
he's like 16 years old, and he's like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, a minute ago, he's like nearly tried to kill her, tied her up. And even when she's doing the ice cream, they purposely put a perfect smudge of white ice cream there. Like she's just got a full load shot by Massimo over the side. And then, it's as if Massimo's like, oh, don't tease me. Don't tease me. I can't take it anymore.
And then, like, off screen, she goes, like, to a fountain or something, doesn't she? Or, like, I don't know what she does. Like, off screen, she's like, his cousin's like, oh, what's she doing? Why is she going to this fountain? I don't know if she got like undressed or what. So then they walk back to the hotel. She's soaked. She goes into her room.
So at this point, she wants it, and then once again, the next scene. Carry on.
All right. So she's got her own room, hasn't she? So then she's in this like just wearing a bathrobe. That's it. What does she do? She goes and knocks and goes into Massimo's hotel room. Why?
I thought he went to hers. Oh, I'm forgetting this now.
No. She goes into his because he's got that massive painting with him and the lion or whatever.
That's his room, yeah.
Yeah.
This scene's madness.
She knocks and walks into his room for some reason, just wearing a bathrobe.
Yeah.
That's it. And then he's just wearing a bathrobe as well. So it's like, why is she going into this room? Clearly, she's into it. So then, anyway, to start talking, I don't know if like Massimo's unrobed or whatever, or she's like telling him you're never gonna get this or whatever. So she tries to leave the room, but it's locked. She can't get out. It's locked from the inside.
Does Massimo take off his towel before or after this?
No, I think it's after because I think it's a shot where she's on the bed.
This is something that don't make sense. Right, so Massimo, she's trying to get out at this point.
Yeah.
I'm sure it must be before, because in my note here, unless you correct it, he's saying to her, stop it. But then he takes his towel off when he's saying stop it to her.
Well, she initially spreads her legs on the
that's it. That's something like I think that's it.
She spreads her legs, and then she's like, oh, you can't get this. She tries to leave, and then
get this.
He grabs her, puts her on the bed, and chains her hands and feet on the bed. He just has these chains there. It's like some sex dungeon or whatever. It's just like, I was like, why is it even there? Like, did he plan this or was it already there?
Even though she's the one who went to the room.
Yeah. So like, there is a couple of good shots where she's just like on the bed and then he takes off his robe. You can't see like his dick. She's covering it and stuff. And then he's got like this mechanism where if she struggles, it opens up her legs more and you can see it.
Yeah, it's just like he's perfectly placed so it opens up more.
So then she's like struggling a little bit. She's like, and then she just sat there. She just tied up. And then we see this girl who's in the room, like in the doorway in another room.
Is that the air hostess?
I don't think it was. I did think that at first, but I don't think it was. So then Massimo sat naked on a couch completely opposite where the bed is. So Lara's just staring and he's like, this is what you could have. And the other girl comes and starts sucking Massimo off. And then they're going at it. Well, they don't have sex. I think they just...
it's just that job. The entire way. It's like, this is what you could have. You could suck me off. You could suck me off for 30 seconds and I'll come. I'll come and gurn at your face for 30 seconds. And she's there like on bed like trying to cool down over what she's seen, getting some guy getting sucked off. And he's just there going, 30 seconds.
And then after that, nothing really happens. He just goes, all right, you need to get ready. We're going to the club in 2 hours.
It's just that club.
It's just literally no repercussions for what he's done. He's just like, all right, let's go.
Imagine me or you kidnapping somebody, tying them up, getting them to watch us have a BJ saying, this is it, this is life. And then they follow us. They follow us after that.
And then she gets dressed. And this is what I don't understand. She gets dressed as like. When I saw her, I was like, she's not even dressed that much like a hoe. She's just going to the club, but she's like, she did get glammed up.
Yeah.
Even though like in previous scenes, like where she's wearing lingerie and like other dresses, she's dressed like quite similar to what she's dressed. Anyway, so she goes to the club with Massimo's having a business meeting with another family.
What a place to have a business meeting. And why invite her when this is what happens?
I know. So then she gets jealous or whatever. She like wants to have a good time. You know, a couple of guys hit on her. She's down. She's on the bottom floor at this point, and Massimo's on the top floor having this business meeting. Massimo's like friend tells her, "Oh look, these guys are talking to her." Massimo goes downstairs to like try and find her. Somehow she's upstairs, dancing on a pole where Massimo was. You know, like with. And the family that Massimo was talking to, one of the guys is like touching her, you know, being a little bit rapey, but like it's like nothing.
I thought before that, I thought she walks into the room that Massimo's in, sucking on like an olive or something weird.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed that. But like, I don't even know if like that's important. Like,
that's just flipped again. It's like the last scene. It was like she didn't, and then she does again.
So like, why she? And like, when this other guy is like touching her up or tries to get with her, she's resisting. But when it's Massimo, she like it doesn't even matter. So then Massimo sees this, goes up to where the family is, where he was having this meeting, and he just pulls out two guns like he's Lara Croft, and then he just points it, and then it cuts to the boat scene.
Oh, the boat scene.
All right.
Hold on. The thing just before as well, I'll try to catch up on those. So in the previous scene, the thing that don't make sense with Massimo is the stuff that he's done to her so far and grabbing hold of her and kidnapping her and all this. The second one guy is getting a bit close to her and a bit weird with her. It's seen as completely 10 times worse as everything that he's done, to the point where he's pulling out guns, and the director is able. He's done it. The way people see this film is Massimo's is the god, and the fact that people are able to see this guy as a good guy just by pulling out two guns from someone else, trying to take his property almost. Maybe the director is a genius. I don't know how he has been able to get people to think that this guy is sane and sexy and the ultimate man. It's unbelievable. But it
just shows that Lara's she's just property now to him. Like, no one can touch my property.
But people love this film. That's a crazy.
I'm the only person that's allowed to do this. When I do it to Lara, it's fine. She's mine. But when you do it, oh no.
But if you said it to Lara, you're a freaky perverted paedophile or something like that. But if I kidnap her, it's fine.
All right. So let's go to the boat scene. So before the boat scene really kicks off, before the boat scene really kicks off, right? It starts off. Lara goes to Massimo and his uncle Mario, and then she goes and apologizes. She's like, "I'm sorry about that" or whatever. And then Mario and Massimo, like, they say they shot the guy's hands, the guy that did it to her. And then so she was apologizing, and then she was like, "Oh, but wait, he did this. I'm not even sorry anymore." Or like, she apologizes and then beginning to like took back her apology in like a second, and then started swearing at him. It's like F you, like try to hit him and stuff. And then she's like running away for some reason on the upper floor of the deck.
Nowhere.
To nowhere. He's running after her. And what happened? Tell him what happened.
Literal clothesline from El Swanton bomb over the top of the. I don't know how she just turned sideways and went forward off the edge of the boat.
She literally got
eliminated from the Royal Rumble. She was eliminated from the Royal Rumble.
I was just about to say.
You were trying to get those words out.
WrestleMania.
What is it?
What's going to WrestleMania?
The only good thing about this scene, which I thought at the time were going to happen, but didn't happen, was Mario, his is it Mario? His uncle or something.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to turn on Massimo and Lara at this point because he was like, you shouldn't be doing this stuff. Look what you've done. And then
Well,
that
it
goes
would have made
quiet.
sense, but there's no plot to this film. There's
true.
no plot to this film.
When you have your hopes, you think something might happen, and then she just gets eliminated.
There's no plot, right? So then, when you watch it, it's like, what? She's overboard. But you never ever think she's in danger, do you? Like, she could die
under the water for maybe 5 seconds.
So then Massimo jumps in, grabs her,
like the hero that he is. All of a sudden,
yeah, absolute G.
She somehow passes out.
Yeah, literally. I'm not joking. Babies that get baptized are in the water longer than she is. She's passed out. Massimo's got her in his arms, and then it cuts, and she wakes up. Topless, by the way, no top.
Was she? I thought she had some on. Does she have no on?
She's under the.
Oh yeah.
And then right, so you think, all right, kind of, it might have been Massimo's fault that she went overboard, but no, she's like, I can't believe you saved me. I can't believe you saved me. She's like, this guy's a hero to him. She was running away from him. That's why she went overboard.
And for some reason, this is the complete switch changing point.
And this is the switch. Out of all the moments that they could have picked for her to completely fall for him, this was the switch. It was a joke.
I thought she was going to do him dirty. Like, what did she do? What did she do?
She sucked him off.
Yeah, and he goes, don't play with me. And she just starts sucking him off. She sucks him off.
And then he goes down on her, and then they're banging. They're in different positions.
It was quite a good scene. Yeah, it was well shot.
It went on for ages. Not only were they in different positions, they were on different positions in the boat.
That's why I was laughing. I was laughing out loud at this point. You know why?
It's like Massimo's lasted 30 seconds with other women before this, but he's lasted ages with her, like anywhere on the sea. Like Mario's uncle's probably just there staring.
That was what I was going to say. They were on top of the boat, and I thought, where's Mario? Mario's just looking there. Like over there every 5 seconds. It reminded me. Mario should have. Something could have happened. Like, for example, this is what they could have put in. Seems Massimo has a thing for filming other people having sex or bad things they've ever done, and they will keep that footage. If maybe they could have done something like Mario films those two having sex, sends it to either Massimo's ex-girlfriend or the other family or Lara's supposed still boyfriend, that could have been a nice switch. But nothing happens other than they have sex on every part of the boat or whatever reason. It's like, it reminded me the type of sex, Sausage Party, the end scene.
Yeah,
it starts off
like
and then all of a sudden they're just everywhere.
Escalates. Everyone's banging everyone.
But it was nicely shot, cinematic shots of the boat, people having sex.
There was some nice shots in this film. However, at this point, she is completely in love with this guy out of like nowhere. No character development to get to this moment.
No.
None. So then, I've got no sympathy for Lara anymore. That went ages ago, but now it's just like she's just somehow. She's a thought.
Especially when she wakes up or she's just there with some strange designer hat on with no clothes on. And then like they're a happy couple and he's like, I'm going to take you to a ball tonight. I'm going to take you to a ball.
So then I think that's the main scene in this film. Like that's like the scene, the boat scene. I think that's because that's the first time they have sex. So then,
but what happened in the shower? Like, what happened in the shower? It just cuts. Like the original shower scene. Did they not have sex in the shower?
No.
She's on him, and then
no
one knows what happened.
They definitely didn't.
Nothing. It's like that scene was supposed to be later on in film, or something like that.
Well, there's some scenes where I'm just like, this scene should be before this scene. Like her like her when she was going on the plane, her flailing her arms about that should have been before the shower scene, because why would she be seductive 1 minute and then anyway?
Aye, but we still watched the entire film and it flew by, didn't it? So something must be going right. It's the boobs.
That's what I'm saying. This film,
the boobs. That's what it is. It's the boobs.
I couldn't take my eyes off this film.
I know, it was weird. It's a
it helped
guilty
that
pleasure,
they were both
maybe.
good looking, and it was like, you know,
nudity. And...
If you skipped past these sex scenes, then you know that's on you.
If you just name the narrative: gangsters, naked women, drugs, and partying, it sounds like it's going to be a really rock and roll ride. But
no. Well, if they had a plot, it's that what even. Well, that's what a gangster film is, but this was just not that.
There was no even gangster business really in it.
It wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Why even include the original, sex trafficking of underage girls and stuff? No need for that.
That could have been used at any point in the film if they wanted to make a good story. Them versus the sex trafficking people or something. Right,
now we get into the most rushed last chapters of a film you will ever see.
I've got a lot of comments about this, strangely. The most comments I have is about this part of the film.
The ending of this film. Right, so we'll get into that, but the next scene is they're at this ball and they run into Anna, who is... Wait, we forgot something a little bit.
What?
Massimo randomly just saw Lara in Sicily. Like, it was just a complete coincidence that they ran into each other. He's been looking all over the world for this girl for 5 years and then just happens to see her at the airport. Anyway, not even important. But they run into Anna, and Massimo was dating her until the day that he saw Lara at the airport. Because she already knew before that he was obsessed with this girl. You know, he's got painted off her in the house and all that. And then Anna's like, right, I was his first and true love or whatever. And then she tells Massimo that she's essentially going to kill Lara.
Yeah.
And Massimo tells Lara this. So then they're in like this bathroom, and then it looks like they're about to have sex. You know, gets a little bit raunchy. And Massimo tells Lara, you need to go back to Poland. You're getting on the first flight back. So then Lara's in a car on the way to the airport, and then for some reason Massimo's friend gets a call. He can't go with Lara to the airport. He just goes, but then Lara still goes to the airport. I didn't really understand that bit.
No.
Yeah. So then Lara's back in Poland, and she meets with a friend. I can't remember what the friend was called. It was like Ola or something.
Olga.
So then she's telling Olga all about this guy. She doesn't believe it, kind of, but then she like gets into it, and she's like, what did she say about the dick?
She was basically just saying, I'm going to write the exact things you've just said. I'm going to put 1 point about each one, and then I'm going to say what she's called the penis. So basically at that ball, when the ex turns up, what's her name again? His ex?
Martin.
No.
Anna.
So Anna turns up, and then the weird thing is about another shocking character development and the way that Lara just... I have no remorse for anything that happens to her. Like, for example, she complains that, like, Massimo has to say, I stopped seeing her as soon as you came, as soon as I saw you. And then that's fine. Yet exactly 2 nights ago, Massimo was getting sucked off in front of her by some random woman, and it was fine. And this girl, this Lara thinks this guy is now my boyfriend. He's never going to do out to me, even though he's kidnapped me. and then in the toilet, when they were speaking and they started having sex, I thought the scene started as if she were going to push him off and say, no, I can't do this. I don't trust you. But as soon as he came onto her, she lets him in again. She just takes control.
She's fully into it now.
Yeah.
She's just as bad as him, if not a little bit worse.
She's in complete dismay horror that she has the chance to go back home to her family where she's
I know.
not
I
kidnapped,
know.
and
I
she
know.
and it's been
What
it
she
has
wanted.
been like less than a month at this point. And all this time, why has nobody looked for her other than
I
a
was
month?
just about to say no one's even. Like,
Because
when she goes and meets her friend, then she's worried, but she wasn't.
Yeah.
She couldn't have been that worried because
her
nobody even.
friend even says, "I thought you were kidnapped." So why didn't
I don't-
Martin and everybody else think she was kidnapped? But her mum was, "Oh yeah, she's got a job. She's got a job assistant
Yeah.
for a year." But everyone else thought she was kidnapped. And then, what were you going to say? And then she tells her friend that she fell in love. She's fallen in love with Massimo.
Yeah.
She admits she's fallen in love, and he's like this alpha male. She depicts the perfect stereotype of what a man should be. She was like, I can't remember if she says how tall he is. Something like he's however tall, really muscular.
He does. Yeah, he does.
I can't remember the exact words, but it's like he's the most desired man in the world. And this is something else. This is something else. Like in this world today, everyone complains about body image for women, but and everything else I've already complained about so far. But imagine like you're a guy watching this. As soon as I stopped watching that film, I thought I need to do 50 press ups, get a couple of tattoos, and get thicker hair. Like I'm sorted, and that's the only way.
I mean, like I do feel like women are allowed say a lot about like the way men look, but God forbid if a man says like a woman has to look like this,
yeah,
forget it.
This image of this Massimo man is now in the world, on the film and in the real life, being depicted as the perfect man. The tattoos on his hand, the amount of eagle tattoos that are going to come on people's hands there in the next few years from that film is mad. And then her friend says, she says something like, "Oh, angels made his body," and then her friend's like something like, "Well, what about his cock or what about his penis?"
Yeah.
And then she just comes in, "It was made by the devil." And then her friend's like, "Oh," her friend's like in chair like me, like, "Oh, I can already imagine this."
Lara is a full-on whore.
Both of them are. Even the way her friend's character develops after this, is let down.
No, but like, I don't even care that they're acting like this. But then don't act innocent before.
I know.
I mean, like, if you want to be like that. But then don't try and like think that you're all innocent, and then the other guys are like this bad guy initially. Like. Anyway.
Do you reckon they made the film on purpose like this, so people like us would talk about it and get it more press? Like it don't matter, good press or bad press, it's getting eyes.
To be honest, I don't think it does, because I don't think that was their intention. Because
you think they were like, "This is it, we've made something."
I just don't know. I just don't know how you can make a film like that bad as like a joke, if you know what I mean. Like. If it's like them trying to make a good film and it just ended up being bad instead of them making an intentionally bad film.
Do you know like these popular shows on Netflix, like this one, or it don't matter how good or bad they are. Do you know like when a film goes to box office, it makes money depending on how many people see it and the cinemas buying it? Would this film make more money off how many people are watching this like phenomenon? Compared to every other film, do you get paid per views on Netflix? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. I think like Netflix it's a Netflix.
Is it original? Is it?
I don't know. I think it might be. Well, anyway, if this film was in the cinema, no one's watching this film.
Well, 50 Shades of Grey was. Well, that was like the original, wasn't it? That was like the build and the books.
I mean, like.
This
is what Netflix are really good at. This is what Netflix have some really good box sets and stuff. But Netflix, and I think they should all just keep doing this, because everyone's got a Netflix account. They make some right shit, and then they make some right shit that people like us and everyone latches onto, that can make memes about, and is like good for the culture. Right, so then. They've got films like Bird Box.
Oh, everyone watched like that.
Tiger King.
That was good though.
No, right. Tiger King, like Don't Fuck with Cats, and like this. it's all. If I'm watching that, not on Netflix, if I'm going through my Sky TV and it's just on a random channel, I'm not watching it. No one's
true.
watching it. You'd see Tiger King is like, if you're watching it in isolation, all of them are absolute garbage.
It's because you're almost forced to
on
watch
Netflix,
it.
yeah.
You know, like
you're
on
missing
Sky,
out.
on Sky, programs come and go off the screen.
Yeah.
It's like a rotation, but this is like you're set. It's like you've got
Yeah,
a
yeah.
video. It's like you've got a
Yeah.
cassette player with loads of VHS tapes, and you have to watch them all.
And it's like you can't get rid of it when it's like continue watching until you watch.
And then everyone's talking about it outside as well.
I know. It's like
on your phone.
You can't miss out. You can't miss out.
Anyway,
Anyway,
where were we?
We went on a bit of a tangent, but
we're on about the devil's penis, and then.
So then they go to like this hairdresser's salon or whatever. She's Lara's friend's like she needs to be glammed up.
For what?
Even though she looks fine, she looks great. I mean, like nothing's changed about her. It's not like, and then they make her look worse by giving her a shitty blonde haircut.
I didn't mind that. I actually preferred the blonde haircut.
Oh no.
But that's another problem. Just because she was almost dumped by a guy as if she wasn't good enough, they had to evolve her into like this blonde, pampered girl to fulfill his desire. And then I don't understand the whole pamper scene. Her friend's drinking champagne, getting her hair cut. Like,
she said like she gets a job somewhere.
Or she got offered. I don't understand who got offered the job. It's like, I'm going to be the lead or the host or the manager of Summit. Who? You are Lara. Yeah.
Lara's been in the country 10 seconds. She hadn't gone for any job interviews or anything. I have no idea. Right, so then they go into the club. You know, Lara's drinking. No, she's acting like a whore with a friend. And then who shows up? Her ex, Martin.
Oh, big boy Martin shows up.
You know, justice for Martin a little bit. This guy got no character development. He didn't get anything going for him because
Martin got done dirty.
Right, so then he's talking. He wants to justify himself. I don't even think we even mentioned this.
No, the photos.
The photos. That Massimo had photos of Martin cheating when he first captured Lara.
He must have set that up. He must have set that up.
Yeah, he did.
How else is he just following people, videoing him, having sex with random people?
Because it was implied that it happened after they fell out, wasn't it? After Martin and Lara fell out, Martin was like, "Oh, I felt so bad," and like he did this stuff. I think that's how he initially started cheating on her.
Well, if you probably would leave each other, if the last thing you heard was Lara's mum say, she's just got up and left to get a job. She didn't tell you though. You know, she's gone.
So then, anyway, Martin tries to justify himself, wants to just talk to Lara. Lara's not having any of it.
No.
Then, for some reason, Martin manages to follow her all the way to her house.
Yeah, and then she like the scene we get to is her opening the door with Martin going, "Get out!" And she says something like, "I don't want to be your toy. I don't want to be your toy." Do you? Does this woman realize what she is, what she's become?
I love how Martin managed to follow her all the way home.
And then who shows up?
Wait. What was that conversation? What was that journey like from the club to the house with Martin following Lara?
In the elevator and everything.
Oh, God. Anyway. Yeah, who sat on the chair when she opens the door? Massimo. Just randomly there. And then you think there's going to be some sort of head-to-head between Martin and Massimo, but as I said, justice for Martin. What does Massimo say? It's like, I think she wants you to leave or something. And then Martin, like, gets totally intimidated by this guy. I just leaves.
Who is it? Oh, you know what? Yeah, Martin leaves. She's like, Martin goes something like, "I'll see you tomorrow." I'll see you soon. And then for some reason, right, so Lara opens the door and she's completely normal with Massimo being sat there. She's like, "Oh, Martin, meet Massimo, blah, blah, blah." And then the second Martin goes, she turns around to Massimo and starts saying something like, "Do you have any idea what I've been through?" She's just been pampered for one night. She had a pamper, and she's just had a party, and then she don't want him again. She don't want him again.
And then I don't know what, I can't even remember what happens where
He comes onto her against the window, and then she's like, oh, and then they start having sex, and then for some reason, which I didn't understand, were they're like all making love and they're back in love together, and then I don't know if it's before or after that she says the big line. I don't.
No. She opens his.
Is that before or after the 365 thing?
She says it after because she gets turned on that he dealt with this thing because she's like, so she opens up his shirt and he has bruises on his chest.
I thought they were kiss marks, as in like someone has been kissing down his body and sucking on his skin. So she was panicking.
No. What I got, and I think what it means is that he took care of what had to get taken care of.
Which was what?
They were out. I think they were out to kill. They didn't even imply it. They didn't really even do it. I think someone was out for Lara. That's why Lara had to go back to Poland, because when Anna said that she was going to kill Lara or something, that's why. So then he's like, I've taken care of it. I think she gets turned on like, oh, look, this guy has protected me and done all this thing for me. So then she says,
protected him for what? Himself.
Yeah. So then she says the big line, which is...
I thought you said the big lie.
The
big lie. Go on,
what's the line? I don't know, this is your moment.
I can't remember if she goes, I love you. Oh, no, I think she goes something like, I don't need...
No, she says, I don't need 365 days.
I only need 36 and a half, basically. 36 and a half.
And then he's like, why? And then
she's like, no, he's like, what did you say? What did you say that again? Say that again. And then she's in control.
Let me just get this recorded. Let me just get my voice memos on my phone.
It's like, I said, I don't need to shout it. Like
he's like, it's lagging. It's lagging. Let me just record it.
Disconnected. And then, yeah. And then it's the same scene, isn't it, where suddenly they fall asleep and wake back up. Insanity strikes again. She wakes up with a wedding ring on, or an engagement ring, and she's like...
Wait, I'm sure it was on the wrong hand.
It was on the right hand as in the wrong hand.
Yeah.
It was on the right-handed.
Right.
That one. I don't know if that's where you're supposed to put like an engagement ring or something at first before you get married.
I don't know.
And then he just comes out with, will you marry me? And at that point, I thought she might have actually said, I don't know about that one, Chief. That's a bit far-fetched.
Yeah.
Took 5 seconds again.
No.
Took 3.5.65 seconds.
And then she was like, she said, yeah. And then at this point, I looked at actually, no, I'm going to go to something a bit further on and then I'll tell you. So then it cuts after that, doesn't it? Where I think there's like a montage where she's trying on like different clothes, wedding clothes or like shoes, and then he's there waiting for her. I think they have sex in like a changing room or something.
It's like glorified the shopping. It's glorified buying fancy clothes.
Yeah, and this film has just gotten a complete shit at this point. Like, the last 20 minutes is just...
But this is the thing. It went so fast that you thought it were only halfway through and something was still going to switch.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's no plot. There was nothing.
It lost the plot.
It was just a film. And then he meets Lara's parents, and then Lara's like, all right, don't mention what you do. And then what does he do? I think Lara's mum's like, so what do you do? And he says, I'm a gangster.
And then they laugh.
I know they laugh. And then he's like, what do you intend to do with like my daughter? And he's like nothing good or something, like he's full on toxic at this point. No one says anything. They're laughing like it's some sort of comedy.
Oh, well, you'll be the first gangster in our family.
I was expecting like a Friends laugh track or something.
Oh, so where were they at this point? Are they at someone else's wedding?
Someone else's wedding, and then someone throws the bouquet, she catches it, which didn't need to happen because they were already getting married anyway.
Yeah.
Like, why?
I don't
why,
even remember that happening. I don't even wrote that up down about that. Like,
and like, why? Whose wedding was that?
don't know.
Why?
It could have been like the friend that's been.
Yeah.
You know who it would have been funny. I wouldn't be surprised if all they did was, you know, when she's I know is it I don't know. You know when she's trying on wedding dresses. Has that been yet?
No.
No. All right. Forget what I said. Forget what I said. Then how could that be?
So then there's a scene where Massimo's with Mario at a pool, and Lara walks towards their table, and then Massimo's like, "Oh, you don't look good." And then, did you know why? Like,
I thought he said you do look good.
no, she said like you look pale or something, or you don't look too good.
No, that was her parents who said that, didn't they?
Yeah, no, yeah, her parents said that, but then after that, he said it as well. Like, I want you to see a doctor.
Oh yeah.
But then, did you know why? Like, did you?
He like wanted like a pregnancy tease.
Yeah. But did you? Yeah. Well, we'll get onto that. But did you think when he said that, she's pregnant?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I did as well. So then, but then she makes an excuse like saying, "Oh no, I just want my friend Olga to be here." And they're like, initially they're like, no one can be.
No one from Poland.
Yeah.
No one from Poland can come to this wedding. Okay.
And then we get the impression that Mario doesn't like Lara because Lara's a foreigner and that they're gangsters, so they have to marry into like that Italian tradition.
And the mess she's caused.
Yeah, so you're thinking, all right, maybe now a plot could happen.
Mario's gonna go.
Yeah. So then Lara's friend comes, and this is when I checked the time, and there was 12 minutes left. I was like, what? What are they possibly going to do in 12 minutes? Her friend is literally just coming down. This should have happened like 45 minutes ago. So then a friend gets there. They're trying. As soon as she gets there, she tells her she's pregnant, and then a friend's shouting at her for some reason, like, "Oh, you barely know this guy." Actually, making a bit of sense.
When they're on the beach or something, when they're like on that stone, they're like, "You can't." Yeah, this was the part that I thought someone's actually saying the truth. Someone's actually saying what's happening.
Yeah. And Lara, I don't know. She's gone. She's gone at this point. She's just like she succumbed.
Yeah, and but then so is Olga. 2 seconds later.
Yeah, Olga is literally like, "Oh yeah, give me a hug." So then they go try on wedding dresses. Olga's flirting with the G.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, nothing happens.
I thought they could have got together or something, but no.
But nothing happened. Why show it? Because no outcome from it.
Yeah, or so like Lara, drinking. She's drinking like
out of a wedding dress, a little bit revealing.
Yeah. What, the dress?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mind that dress. I thought it was all right, but I thought they were trying to make it out like it was the greatest wedding dress ever.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to watch those. Say yes to the dress. You never say yes to the first dress. She just came out. No one even said, get it off. Yeah. Get it off. Everyone's like, oh. Someone should have said something.
And then she says to Olga, I'm going to keep the baby and stuff. Like, I love this guy. Must be 4 minutes left in this film at this point. So then they're in a car, Olga and Lara, and then it cuts to Mario, Massimo's uncle. He's in a car. He gets a phone call.
From who?
God knows who from. I think it's from the rival family saying, we're going to kill Olga. Or Olga's, not Olga, Lara. Lara's going to get killed.
And Olga, practically now as well.
Yeah. So then, this is the worst tension building you've ever seen in a film. It was comical. So then Massimo, literally, this is 21st century problems. Mario's trying to call Massimo to tell her what's going on. Massimo's already on the phone with Lara talking about what were they
Missing
talking about?
each
Like
other. I miss you.
missing each other. So then Mario can't get through to Massimo. I don't know how far Mario was from Massimo at this point, but he couldn't get through to him. The next thing you know, he pulls up to the house. Literally, it must have been about 45 seconds later, so I don't know what was the big deal to call him. He gets to the house and he's like looking for Massimo. Massimo's trying to talk to Lara, but Lara's like now not talking. You think,
Because
oh
she went
God,
under
what's
the
happened?
tunnel, pretty much.
Yeah, she went under the tunnel. So then Mario finally reaches Massimo, and Massimo and Mario are just looking at each other. Not a word said. And then Massimo knows, oh, something's happened. Lara's got. And then he starts doing this dramatic
Enrique
cry.
Iglesias.
Yeah.
What song is it? Hero, white shirt,
No.
rain type of thing.
Rain falling on him. Beautiful summer day, but just a trickle of rain going down his face. You know, and then obviously he knows something's happened. Must be 30 seconds left in this film at this point. No resolution's gonna happen. So then it cuts to the next shot, and there's a police car outside the tunnel, and you don't see anything, but it implies that Lara's dead.
And
She
that's
got
it.
killed, and that is the film.
Did you not think when Mario ran up to Massimo, I didn't look at how much time was left. Did you not think Massimo were going to be like, what have you done? You know, because they planted a seed that didn't grow, that Mario might not like this situation and might sort it out.
I thought that, wouldn't it have made more sense if Mario got the phone call saying we're going to kill Lara, and he didn't say out to Massimo like, all right, just do it.
Yeah.
That would have been a better ending, because we already know that he wasn't totally on board. So like he could have just kept quiet and be like, that could have been his little secret. Could have been a decent ending.
For rightful reasons, he wasn't feeling right. All this family that's been built up, all his brother that's built, and then his son comes along, mad about a bit of boob, boob that comes his way, that he'll throw everything down the drain for the sake.
It could have actually had a little bit of a plot having Mario as the villain, but instead we saw that old bastard just running around looking for basketball.
Well, then like,
couldn't he have called someone else? Couldn't he have called like the people around
Lara?
There must have been someone at the there could have been someone at the crib that Massimo was at.
Who was Mario trying to call in the car? Was he trying to call Massimo or Lara?
Massimo.
He probably
didn't have Lara's number.
He probably would have the driver's number though.
Yeah, I could like someone working at the house, like a security guard, to like tell Massimo that Lara's about to die, but instead this old bastard just took his sweet time.
But instead, he tells the driver to rev the car. I swear that car is revving and not even putting it down. It's just like all the way down that nice little dirt track.
It literally went from 30 miles an hour to 35 miles an hour.
Yeah. So right, literally, if there could have been in the entire plot a twist, what would you have asked for? Any point in the film, there could be a twist.
There could have been I don't know how. Even like Mario turning bad would have been a little bit decent, even though it would have been still like the film was so far gone at that point.
Yeah,
like that. Why? There was no tension at all. Tension went as soon
between
as
anybody.
Yeah, I mean, like Lara had like no redeeming qualities about her.
Yeah, she did nothing. She did nothing to move the story on that wasn't already going to happen. Like, I don't know anybody who did anything to move the story on other than the people who killed Lara at the end of the film.
Yeah. I mean, like, why not introduce Anna half an hour into that film, and then throughout this film, there's like this overhanging tension that something could happen to Lara. Like Anna's there to get her. But like it didn't even. We could have still had all these sex scenes, but in the back of your head, you're thinking, "All right, is something going to happen between Anna and Lara?" But nothing happened.
Like if Anna was the one who rang Mario. That could have been something.
Yeah.
Mario was always the one that
Yeah.
they planted, and they could have moved on from there.
There was no plot, and like there was no plot where there was barely any tension between Massimo and Lara in this film. Like they could have made it where Lara got the upper hand sometimes on Massimo. Like she had a bit of power, and then he was the one that was like powerless, and it could have like been a bit of a back and forth between them. But
could have done like a bit of a Ross and Rachel, you know, like when Massimo sent Lara back. Lara obviously so distraught and getting pampered up straight away on first night. She could have gone back to Martin for one night, and then maybe to show a bit more depth to Massimo. Massimo still takes Lara back, even if she'd like slept with Martin that one night, and they could have like built it around that, and still, even Massimo or Martin does something really bad to Lara, and Massimo kills Martin.
Yeah. As I'm saying, there's no character development in any of these characters.
Who was the best character?
Honestly, I don't know.
I had someone in mind, but then I don't know. I'm not Lara. Maybe Massimo, just for the sake of he has the most things going on. But then for someone who you actually get excited about, I'm going to say Mario. Mario's the only guy I felt tension with watching the film. Like he might do something he might be able to shift the entire narrative of the film. He has hidden agendas ever since his brother died, if it was his brother, from the start. Because even at the start, it looked like Massimo were going to shoot Mario at the start of the film. You know, when he starts getting his gun out?
Yeah.
Why couldn't Mario? Well, we know they didn't do it, but Mario is the only one for me who made me feel anything. Other than a little bit aroused with Massimo and Lara, other than that, the only emotion I got were a bit of tension from Mario, maybe being able to, like a bit of a Joe Pesci type of thing in Goodfellas, where he's like the sneaky little one who's going to do something to someone.
Yeah, but it just never happened. That's what I'm saying. It was more like, it's like the whole film, it was literally a 2-hour, you know, when a porn, you like see them parody porn films and like
you got a full story
before the sex scene.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my stepsisters come in. Oh, damn.
Yeah, it makes sense. Just like, but it works for what it does. It was like a 2-hour version of that.
Did you understand why it was half in English and then half wasn't in English? Like they were like for half the film they were speaking in, was it Italian or Polish or what? And then subtitles would come up, and I didn't even notice they were speaking in a different language because they were mixing between English and that. Well, so is this an English film or is it an Italian film?
No. Massimo and Lara only spoke English to each other.
I thought Lara spoke quite a bit of Polish at times.
Yeah, but not to Mario. Because there was one scene where she was cursing him out. I think it might have been on the plane in Polish, and he was like, in English, please.
Yeah, I don't know. Does she speak to Olga in Polish then?
Yeah.
When she went about the devil.
That whole scene was in Polish.
All right, fine. So overall, like what we're saying with the cultural impact, you know, like I've been saying about how people are promoting this and Massimo's the perfect guy. Do you reckon this is just how does this represent our modern day culture? Like the fact that this has got so big, what does it show about our current state of affairs?
Well, I think not to get like, look, we're young, we're 24. We've like literally come out of like we're in the scene. So we know how like these people act, especially like in the 20s. So I think it actually does a decent job of how I don't know how to say this without like offending women, but like there is a lot of women out there, especially in the 20s, who will preach like, I want a guy that treats me right, who does this is like an angel and stuff.
Of course
But
not. Everyone just wants that pile
yeah,
driver Massimo penis.
but
That's
then
the end of the day.
it's like, and then there's a perception that men are pigs. They just want women like sexualize them. But there's a lot of women out there who do the exact same thing, where they care about a good-looking, godlike creature.
They want them to be a bit aggressor almost.
And I think that's fine. Like I have no problem with people that are attracted to stuff who have types. Like we all have types. I think it's fine, but like I don't like it when women pretend like they're allowed to have types, but the men can't. Like they can only accept them for who they are.
What, and they like condescend themselves and patronize what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like they'll promote one thing, but then they'll say the other thing's wrong when they're doing both themselves. That's a weird. The image that we put out about ourselves. This is what I love. This is what I'm going to love talking about on these podcasts. Literally about stuff that might come up. Say if we did like documentaries, or maybe we can do that. Like I don't know what to do next, but that Zac Efron thing looks pretty good. That's come up now. If you've seen it, and like how everyone's representing Zac Efron. Like everyone's saying Zac Efron's got a dad bod with his beard. The guy's bulked and muscular as well. Are you joking? What do you expect from us these days? I sit down, my stomach's like that. I'm like, what?
Just because like he might not be in his Baywatch body, that guy is in incredible shape. I'd be like, if that's the standard that you don't want, if that's the dad bod, it's over for us.
Got no chance. And then they're promoting this way of men, like the way you're passing around this Massimo image. It's like you're asking for someone to be the aggressor, to take control, yet then at the same time it's like, oh, do you get permission from someone? What is permission nowadays? What is going too far? Yeah. Like, can I strangle you from behind when you're walking out of a shower or of a shop?
Is that sexy, not, or is that sexy, or is it completely inappropriate? Like,
they're shaping the narrative.
There is a fine line.
There's a fine line in this society, because you can film something like that was a film. It's filmed in a way that shows them, even though it's bad, to be as good. Like someone can take a picture nowadays and just make it anything they want. They can say a bad thing about it. They can say a good thing about it. They could show, like, have you ever seen that Prince William photo where he's like that?
Oh yeah.
And it's like Prince William's giving middle finger, but then like they turned the camera around. And he was going like that or something like, or he would. I don't know if he was going like, come here to somebody or something like that. Just the way it's misconstrued.
I like this stuff that you think has happened for years, and then you finally like see the truth. Like, this is completely random. I'm sure you've seen that video where it looks like Ashley Young has bird shit in his mouth.
No.
Right, I mean, this might be like 5-6 years ago, and then it went viral everywhere. There's this video where it looks like there's bird shit falls into Ashley Young's mouth, and it's disgusting. But then it was only like a couple of weeks ago, he said, look, we have footage from Man United TV where they've slowed it down. Someone spits and it goes over his head. So it looks like that's the bird shit, but it doesn't even go in his mouth. It's actually his own spit that comes out of his mouth, and it just falls on his lip. But it's because the spit goes over his head and that spit comes on his mouth at the exact same time. It looks like it's like a bird shit, but it's actually not. It's just his own spit. So it's just like different perceptions.
It's like people will share that. People would only share that because they know they'll get a couple of likes or retweets for something that's funnier or taking the mick out of somebody than somewhere where he's just spat. It's like, oh, Ashley Young or Ashley Cole.
Yeah, Ashley Young.
Ashley Young just spat. Like, he spat out of his mouth.
I mean,
that's
like, it's like it's hard now. Like, I don't know, perceptions. You need more context with stuff.
Yeah,
and I think
there's no context anymore.
That's why
That's why this film has no context.
And it's disgusting how it is kind of like to do with society now. Like, people can pick and choose what they see from like a celebrity, and they can say, "Oh, look, he supports this, and it's bad," and then it's only a little tiny fraction of what he is, but then they can completely cancel him. And
Yeah,
like
from a
this is
whole
why
headline.
cancel and people not even doing their research on anything.
Everyone's just one-dimensional. If you can get a bit of attention online for yourself by taking someone else down in any way, I'd love for people to take a look back at them and see what they've actually done wrong or said something that's the exact same type of hate. Or even like today, the build up to this like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case. Johnny Depp was in absolute grief. And then stuff came out about her biting his skin off and taking a shit in his bed. To the point where, which way do you even go? But if they can make it look like she's the victim, we just watched 365, and at the end of the day, Massimo's the good guy, innit, somehow. But someone takes, like, those two are fighting, taking shits in each other's bed. Oh, Johnny Depp's fucking vermin. Obviously vermin, innit? Same with Amber Heard. I don't know which way it's going to go. I don't know who's right or wrong here, because it's not all come out, but it's just a matter of... This is the problem I had with the film, this conception thing of how backwards people are. No one's taking a minute to think about it. Like, I don't mind people enjoying this film, but don't go on the next day and start complaining about, like, women's rights or people getting abused when you just watch that film and you'll be promoting it.
Sharing it, and be like...
People just so one-dimensional with the way they're thinking. What else you want to say?
I will say that as a film, if I'm critiquing this film, absolute dog shit. I mean, it is awful film, but I can't help but recommend this film.
It's a dog shit with a cherry on top.
Yeah, I mean, like, just watch it. It's just like, if you can get a good laugh out of it. You can like, it's just you don't even have to. It's not one of them films where you need to pay attention, where you're piecing things together. Even though I've like critiqued the lack of plot, but it kind of works for this film, kind of. And then I think this film works in a vacuum where it's on Netflix, it's accessible to everyone. We're in quarantine, everyone's watching absolute garbage, and people are horny. People want to start a conversation. So I'm glad we watched this film, and like, I'm glad this is our first review.
Yeah, you can choose the next one. We were debating on which film to choose for ages. We're out on one night and we're like, well, even the idea for the channel kind of came that night. But then the thing, it's good that we chose this with how much controversy it can bring. But no one's really speaking about the controversy. And if anyone's still watching at this point in the podcast or video, well, they did, well, thanks. And we might have well just started talking about it at this point. But I want you to choose the next one. Actually, if anyone's watching this by the time we put it on, and if anyone actually wants to comment, you tell us what you think we should do. Do you know what I mean? What is the big topic thing that we could talk about, or something that would trigger
it doesn't even have to be that. It's just like, if you... We'll watch anything, like, just whatever's hot, whatever you want us to review. Like, we can find meaning in anything. We can like talk like this for ages.
So what's the number one? What's number one on Netflix?
I think it's that new Charlize Theron film. I can't remember what it's called. I'll just search it now.
When she's like some agent or something like that. Or...
Yeah.
Did it get advertised immediately after 365 days?
I don't know, because I know it's literally as soon as you load Netflix, it's like the number one. It's called The Old Guard.
So that's number one.
Yep.
I'm surprised this isn't still. I'm surprised this is like number 5 in the UK when I turned it on. It's been going on for ages.
To be honest, I don't have like Facebook, so I don't think you must be like more aware. I didn't even know about this film until you said it.
Just on Facebook.
I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know how. Maybe I did see it, but maybe I just didn't like pay attention to it. Like.
And on Instagram.
Maybe I did like see pictures, but I was like, who's this guy? And I just kept scrolling. But I'm sure now I've watched it, I'll be a lot more aware of it.
It's just like even the amount of followers he's gone up on Instagram and likes on his photos.
Oh, yeah.
I swear he's
Well,
nearly got 10 million followers now.
that one, yeah, that like Lara's got like 2 million, I think. Not even like verified or anything. I wonder
Really?
what she was on.
I'd
Yeah.
like to know. It's just how I don't know what he did before. If he were an actor before, or just a model, because none of them really have any emotive scenes. I don't know who has the most emotional scene in the whole film, but even it almost sounded in some parts of the film like, do you know in the old films where they record the actual video and then they'd speak over? They would actually
Yeah.
record the audio. It was like, some of it was like that. It's where every time he said, "Are you lost, baby girl?" I swear
Oh
that
yeah.
must have been a voice record. Like he must have tried that 10 times until the director like, "Yep, my pants have come off. That's the one."
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm sure like we would write something like that if we were 14. Like if
Yeah.
we were 14 and we were making a film, like, oh, keep putting this line in. That's what I felt like. I just thought, I can't believe how cringy it was. Like,
Baby girl.
and they must have thought they were geniuses. Like, oh, this is gold. This line right here.
Right. The last things I want to say then is you can get anything in life if you're sexy, you got a lot of money, and you got a lot of tattoos. That seems to be the way it works. And
I mean, like,
if you can kidnap people by sounds of it, that must be a way to go. But
and also like, if you look like that, people are going to be a lot more forgiving
oh
of
yeah,
what you do.
I'll just let it slip. They're precious. They're precious.
I mean, like,
God
could
now.
you imagine like if the main guy was like Danny DeVito?
I was
And
going to
he
say
was
the
doing
exact
all,
same guy. Why does Danny DeVito get such... literally did the film with Arnold Schwarzenegger and he was like the ugly twin. How offended would you be if
I
you
love
got asked
Danny
to do that?
DeVito. He's a good guy. Good guy, Danny DeVito.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready to wrap it up. I'm ready for episode 2 now. You know what I mean?
I'm ready.
All right.
So yeah, we'll be back again next week for another movie review.
I'm going to
I
wrap
don't know
it
if
up.
they'll all be this long this
How
like,
long is
in
this?
depth. I think this is like
The entire
an hour
length
and
of
a
365, the film.
This is a better plot than that film.
This is like Romeo and Juliet almost. I want to know how long that we've been recording. We started at about... I swear it's been 3 hours.
Nah.
It's probably 2 hours worth.
Yeah,
That probably will
I reckon,
barely
yeah.
even be cut down.
I mean, so I think we should give a score out of 10.
For what? The film, the plot, the acting, everything.
Yep.
Out
Wait,
of
can
10.
I just talk about the acting? Let me just talk about the acting for a minute. When I was watching it, I was like, this acting is garbage. But I don't know if the actors are garbage or if the writing just made them just seem
And the
awful.
editing.
Yeah. What do you think?
I thought the acting... I think it just seemed weird because I thought it was like the voice was put over the entire clip almost, and no one had long lines. All of Massimo's lines were really short. Like he was a bit of like a caveman type of...
Yeah.
Even though he presented as being so smart and all this, but...
I also thought like Laura's acting, I don't know if that was her natural English, if that was her natural accent speaking English, or she would try to put something on.
I wonder where she's from. I wonder if she's actually Polish.
I think she's Polish, but I'm saying like, I don't know. It seemed like she would try to do like an accent when she was speaking English. Anyway, I don't know.
All right, give me your rate. No, I'll give you my rating first. I would give it... I'm going to give it 3 out of 10 because the sex scenes themselves deserve a point because they were so well filmed. The sex scenes are well filmed and they were fully into it. Also, the second point is for the cinematic shots throughout the entire film. It's what kept you engaged. And probably the third point is just how fast the film went. Like that's a point in itself. Like I started watching it at maybe 1 o'clock, and next thing I knew, it was 3 o'clock out of nowhere. Like, oh, only reason I knew because I got a bit tired, like thinking, no, it's a game of it. But no, 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100.
All right, I'm gonna give it a 2.
Why?
I just like, I can't give a film with that bad a plot, that bad a character development, anything like But at the same time, this is going to sound weird. I'm going to watch films after this that I'm going to give a higher score to that I don't think I will have enjoyed as much as I watched this film.
So where are the 2 points coming from?
The 2 points are coming from how quick it went and how like not into it I was, just how watchable it was.
Mm.
And the second point, I actually think like I knew it's like there was a conversation to be had from this film, and I think that's the only saving grace.
The film is a talking point. The film is a conversation starter, literally.
Like I think this is the first film that I've watched since a Serbian film, where that is just another beast. But where I'm just like, I was watching it, I was like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah, like is it real?
What? I mean, like, it is so bad, but my eyes are fixated.
And now you're still going to think about it after this. But right, let's wrap it up. The first episode's completed. Let's wrap it up. Do you reckon if anyone's still watching, are you still watching? If you're looking at us right now, are you still watching? If you are
still watching?
You know what? Trooper. Absolute trooper. Are you still listening either as well? You're still watching and listening. Right, any last goodbyes you want to give before I'm just going to fist bump the camera and then stop the recording? So what you want to say before?
Yep. Hopefully next week we'll have another episode. We'll have a conversation off screen and see what we'll do. Okay, right. We'll wrap it up there. Everybody, thanks for joining in. You know what I mean. See you soon. See me and see me soon. And we'll see if you're still watching, because we're watching. And that's it. I could go on all day, so I'm just going to punch the camera. Right. Ciao, ciao, everybody. Bye-bye. Ciao.